Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we are back to do my week 4 check-in for the month of August for my cash envelopes. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe below. Hope y'all are having a super fantastic day. This week has been challenging. Technically this month has been challenging, but you know, I'm still currently, because it's Saturday morning about what? I don't know, about 4:55 in the morning, and the error is supposed to be fixed today. That has been a whole marathon. I mean, like, I had to report them to the corporate office, because it really would not have gone that far if the girl that was in the office that day, who made me stand outside in 95-degree weather, that's without the heat index, wouldn't have said, call the corporate office. It's like, oh, you want me to call the corporate office? Where do they do that at? Where? But anyway, y'all, let's hop back into these transactions. So I kept it simple this week. I can't wait for them to fix my area, y'all, because I want to cook. And y'all know, y'all don't hear me talk about I want to cook, because cooking is not my thing. But I broke a 10 at the laundromat, and then I spent $70.69 at Walmart on groceries. But yeah, I could save so much more money cooking versus buying things that I could quickly heat up so that I don't contribute to the heat here. But yeah, they had to call in a contractor to come in, because the problem is that, so for groceries I spent $70.69. The problem is that the whole unit needed to be replaced, and he hadn't told anybody that the unit needed to be replaced. He was telling them that he was still looking for the part. Well, while she's talking to me, she's telling me that the unit in my apartment is super old, and they don't make it anymore, and they don't make the parts. So I'm like, if they don't make the unit, they don't make the parts, why is he still looking for it 3 weeks later? Like, that don't make no sense. Well, after talking to the property manager and the regional manager, they don't want to fix it because of the awkward spaces that it's in. They don't want to get in there and do that, which is, to me, that is fine. But you deal with that kind of stuff with, you know, your management chain. Then they can get the resources out. They can do, get things done. You don't sit there and pretend like you're working on something where you know good and well you aren't. And then while she's out there being a smart tail, and I'm trying real hard not to use my spicy language, she is telling me people didn't have working refrigerators right now. There was 3 people with air conditioning issues right now, and nobody was getting any work done. I'm sitting here like, girl, really? What? You don't tell me that. It's like, you don't tell me that. I don't care about that. Not saying I don't care about those people, but I don't know those people. It's not my business to know all of that. She was so arrogant that she was stupid. It was just like, just wrapped up in this whole big, and she's just saying this stuff because she really just did not want me, to come in the office. And I'm like, I'm looking for him. I want to talk to him because he is the person that started this. He is the one that needs to be held accountable. Why am I talking to you? You don't know anything. But anywho, I should have $75 or $76 in groceries because I remember using change. I think that helps when I go to one store. Oh, look, I got a penny up in here. Don't know where that came from, but yeah, so it was a whole thing. And she was trying to be rude until I told her 50, 70, 75, 76. Because we got to a certain point and I said, hey, do you know if this is going to be 1 more week, 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks? Because it seems like y'all trying to wait until the fall pops up before you do anything. But still, here in Memphis, the season changes. It's still hot. It's still hot. I think it cools off in like October. I want to say about October it gets cool, but you know, it could be pretty hot. So it's like y'all waiting around. So I'm trying to figure out what's the timeline, because it may get to a point where this is not sustainable for me. Oh, you want to put in your notice? I was like, oh, great. You really finna cut up. And true, she did. And then she goes, you got to put in your 60-day notice, and then you have to sell out your lease. I said, I have to pay out the remainder of that lease, even though you broke it. I'm like, you guys broke it. I didn't break the lease. I paid my rent on the 1st, and then I reported the air was out on the 3rd. I'm like, I did nothing wrong. All I did was attempt to resolve an issue with y'all, and you are sitting up here saying weird stuff. Don't know you're saying weird stuff because you're repeating what you heard, but you don't have any facts. It's like, you need to be quiet. Hush. Now, so restaurants, I had $40. I spent $0, so I should still have $40. We were supposed to meet this week, but one of the PMs in our group got sick, so 20, 40. But yeah, she was cutting up, and then, you know, got the neck involved, and I'm sitting there like, oh, you coming undone, because sweetie, you up here talking too much and thinking you win in the argument. And it's like, no, sweetie, I'm letting you have that one. So when I made sure that I had my stuff together when I talked to corporate, I had everything. Because I had been documenting every interaction, and really I was documenting him. She had crossed me a couple times because she yells at you, and like when I opened the door that particular day on Monday, she yells out, "Don't come in here, we're closed." And I'm like, because there's nothing on the door. Only sign that was on the door said no mask, no entry, and it was in red. But I was wearing a mask, and I'm like, she couldn't see me because I had to stick my head in the door to see her. It was, you know, crazy. So laundry, I ended with $25. I spent $10, and I got $15 left. But yeah, she was going out of her way to be a little D-bag. And I'm like, I would do it. I would make this call to corporate, but I'm going to make sure that I document this interaction. And she's standing there with her mouth open when I walked off, because I'm like, yeah, you went too far. You sit up here talking. You shouldn't have said all that. None of that stuff was my business. And all you had to do is say, he's not here, or give me your number. I'll give it to him so he'd call you back. Because all I'm documenting is he's not calling back. He's not doing this. You know, like, that's what I'm doing. And I'm nailing the source, not this byproduct who don't want anybody in the office. Household ended with 12, and I spent $0, so you see I have 12 left. But yeah, she was just like, ugh. But I noticed that she did that whenever she was in the office by herself, because she had yelled at me one time before, and then I come back, so you know, I'm like, who you yelling at? But I come back and other people in the office, and she's super nice. So I'm like, you cutting up when nobody is around to see or say anything about what you're saying and what you're doing with the residents. But personal, I spent $0. I had 80 left over from last week, and so I should have 80, which I do. 50, 70, 80. Yeah, I don't know who she is, but I told him if she has a problem working in a public sphere, you know, where she's interacting with the public, then maybe she needs to find a way to do it remote, where she can like have a ring alarm, and then we just talk to her through a camera or some other way that is more accommodating, where she's not yelling at people. But when I talked to the property manager, she said that when she got back, she had 25 complaints. And she had only been out of the office for 2 days, and she never had that many complaints. And they ranged from what I was dealing with her and him, to people just saying their maintenance requests weren't being fulfilled and the tickets were being closed out, which was an issue. And I had told the guy about that. So I had a no spin on Monday that happened to me before, and I had to keep calling. And Miss Joanne, bless her heart, and I mean that in a good way, she ran it down and got my ticket fulfilled. So it's just like, and that was just to change the filter. So I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But anyway, by Tuesday, he put on the ticket that they were ordering the replacement. And my son comes and tell me, because I'm putting together the email document, my whole interaction with this dude to the lady at the corporate office. And within maybe 20 minutes of him doing that, he closes the ticket out. So my son, who is paying attention, I think he gets notifications of emails and stuff on his phone. Like, I don't get any notifications on mine, but he does. He sends a screenshot showing that he had closed the ticket out. And I'm still typing up this email, attaching photos and everything. So I go into the ticket and I'm like, so you close the ticket out, and I'm going to claim Saturday. Probably will be in the house all day. My coworker is going to be on vacation. So 28 is going to be out of town for 2 weeks. And I have to do the maintenance jobs, make sure everything goes down, comes back up this weekend. But, and plus the people for the air conditioner are going to come today. But, you know, and then somebody opens it back up. I believe it was the property manager. She opened it back up. Then he comes back and he says, oh, well, you had a duplicate, so I was closing out the duplicate. You are lying, the truth ain't in you. It was like, what the heck? You don't know duplicate. If I had multiple tickets, it would have showed on my screen. It's like, you are lying. What the hell? It's like, oh, okay. I thought he was playing me for dumb. And it's like, no, I'll play with you. But I'm not dumb at all. Alright, so I got 6 no spends and Fed loan. That payment for $154, that's processed. I actually have paid my utility bill. I got to go and check the total amount. It was higher than what I expected. Well, it was higher, but not enough to take up all the money that I put aside to cover the bill. So I do have a little bit that I can add to my student loan debt from the difference in that one category. So let's get a running total of my no spends. So I had 6 this past week because I don't feel like I don't feel like counting. That's the kind of mood I'm in. But that's because I'm sitting in this hot room. 6. I had 5 last week. 4, 5. I had 6 the week before. And I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so I have 23 no spend so far. My goal was to get to 25. So getting close to that one. Paid $33.50 to my debt. Now that one right there I'm going to miss because of all the shenanigans with the air. But I'm on target for saving $65 for my cash envelopes because I have 80 if I don't spend anything this last week in my personal. Now in the food, I can just go ahead and hang that up. I can hang that up because I'm not doing so well. But hopefully they get that, get the air fixed, and I can do more cooking, and then that might help this last week. But all I have is $76 left, so I'm going to try to budget for $75 just in case, because so far so good, y'all. It hasn't been going well. So restaurants, 0. Laundry, I'm going to budget another 10. I may need the whole 15 though. Household, I don't need anything. And personal, I don't need anything. And, woo, almost done. August is almost over. How are you guys doing so far? We have, what, about 4 days left if you count today, but 3 after today. How are you guys doing? And congratulations to everybody who's been paying off their debt. And, you know, especially you, Miss Lena, because I know you've been out there, you've been doing it, and I know it's hard when you get started. The first year, it is hard to see that progress. And it's just I don't know, I think my first year I had to come up with a metric that I could succeed at, and it was focusing on one thing versus looking at the big thing. And then eventually I got to a point where I could look at the big number and I wasn't so overwhelmed. It's a task, and I need to stop swinging the ink pen before I break something. But tomorrow we're gonna do the budget closeout on Sunday, and I think my paycheck number 1 budget is gonna be up for Tuesday. Y'all have a super fantastic day. I hope you all are doing a whole lot better than me. And I will talk to y'all on Sunday. Bye.